Hey, and welcome to today's tarot reading. Overcoming challenges in love and how can I heal this connection? This is the second reading chosen by the collective in our latest poll, so thank you to those that voted. If you've been feeling like your relationship needs a bit of a tune-up, you're in the right place. In this video, we'll turn to the wisdom of the tarot to help you navigate any obstacles in your love life, whether it's a lack of passion or simply the need to reconnect with your partner. We'll be using a 6-card spread to get a clearer picture of your dynamic and uncover what's blocking your happiness, so you can move forward with love and understanding. So let's dive in. So let's start off with the first card, which is the Knight of Swords. And this is in the placement of what's the best way to describe your relationship right now. Now, the Knight of Swords, it can bring issues in communication. That's where the focus is, okay? So swords is ruled by the element of air, which is about speaking our truth, communication. Harsh words could have been spoken. Communication can be difficult. It can involve arguments, cutting things that really kind of hurt our heart. Yeah, this could be both ways, or it could be coming from your partner, or like I say, happening just in general, that communication is difficult, it's stressed. Each one of you is wanting to speak their truth but maybe feeling misunderstood. And then that's kind of driving you forward. We see this knight who is rushing in, who is coming in a kind of frantic way. And like I say, that harshness and coldness, it's almost like not being able to see the other person clearly because we are so focused on what we need to say and needing to be heard. So you're both struggling with being heard, being seen. You're both kind of connected to your truth and feeling like the other person doesn't get that and doesn't understand it. So this is where the main issue lies, in how you're communicating with each other. And this is having a snowball effect of issues. So if this could be worked on in some way, which hopefully we'll see further into the reading of what can heal this, but that really just gives us insight and oversight into why these difficulties are happening, that there's a lot of misunderstanding, and if you could find a way to talk to each other effectively, to feel listened and heard, this would be a great start. Second card. So this is the Magician, Major Arcana, and this is in the placement of what's the disharmony that's occurring in this dynamic. So we've seen that there is an issue with communication. The Magician, now this is interesting because the Magician is about being able to manifest our dreams and desires and bring them into fruition. With the Magician, we see that the tools are all there. It's almost like in this connection, all the ingredients are there, but it's being able to put them together to really create something beautiful, okay? And so there, in a nutshell, really, is what's the disharmony that is incurring. It's like there's nothing essentially missing in this dynamic. So the feelings are there, the attraction is there, the passion, the intelligence, like that this person is a good match for you. It's that kind of you've met your match energy. It's all laid out in front of you, but then there becomes a disconnect of being able to maybe blend all those things together because of this difficulty in communication that we see. It's almost like if there could be like just some kind of almost a simple tweak in the communication. There isn't any ingredients missing here. This card is very vibrant. The Magician is about bringing our dreams into, manifesting our dreams, bringing our dreams into reality. In many ways, that's what you've both been able to do with each other. That relationship that you've longed for, that you've searched for. This is your person who is there in front of you. But there needs to be some kind of blending. There needs to be some fluidity brought back into the connection, the harmony that is missing, which all seems to be based around misunderstandings in some ways. So card 3, what are our challenges illuminating for us? So what's the lesson here? 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands is a card of, again, speaking of that conflict and disharmony. Maybe you are actually having arguments, the communication problem, the conflict, the general conflict and tension. Now, the lesson is maybe putting too much onus, too much pressure on yourself, that these arguments are, it's almost like this, it's full of drama. If you have a disagreement, it's almost like it becomes catastrophic, bigger than what it needs to be. When we see a 5, this is actually the reassurance of the 5 is that it's not as bad as it seems or as bad as it feels. So it may feel like this huge issue, there's something that you keep circling back to where you have these arguments and disagreements. But you actually are able to move on from this. Maybe even the arguments that seem, like I say, very intense, like a very big deal, they're actually not. It doesn't mean that this connection or relationship has to end, that you're a bad match. All these places that you might spiral into and go to. The 5 of Wands is when you look back and you kind of go, oh, I don't know what that was all about. I don't know why we were fighting. Why did something that small become such a big deal? So this isn't a threat. The 5 of Wands tells me that this conflict that you have is ultimately in the future, when we go, if we can jump into the future, it will be less of a problem than what it feels right now. So this is reassuring. This tells me, again, as it stands, like all the good stuff is still there between you. You have manifested the right partner for yourself, and the issues that do stand can be overcome. It's not as drastic or as damaging as what it may feel right now. Let's move on to the 4th card. We have the beautiful 10 of Cups. And this is in the placement of how am I contributing to the issues, which is interesting because it's such a beautiful card. Are you putting too much pressure on this? The 10 of Cups is about really having it all, okay? About having almost, again, sort of total harmony, total bliss, emotional fulfillment. Again, this connects with this 5 of Wands of having an argument that maybe feels very frightening to you, very scary to you, and you would like total peace, total harmony. And that doesn't feel, maybe having arguments will always be part of this connection. Disagreements, that's part of the spark, part of energetically just how that you communicate with each other. And the 10 of Cups is really wanting total peace and total harmony. And that isn't really how deep connections and relationships often work. There will always be some issues. There will maybe always be disagreements. So try to not aim for total perfection, total harmony, and understand that these disagreements that you're experiencing, these conflicts that you're having, aren't the end of the world. It doesn't mean that this relationship needs to end, which may be that you go to, that you're bad for each other, and it means that you're going to break up, bringing anxiety, fear, etc. all the good stuff is there, like I say. So try to not aim for perfection. Maybe you are a perfectionist by nature. Maybe you're someone as well who hates conflict. But try not to put too much pressure on yourself and too much pressure on this connection to be peaceful and be harmonious all the time, okay? So the 5th card, this is, what do we need to fix so we can be happier again? The 8 of Pentacles. This is really just about showing up and putting in the effort, putting in the work, really being invested in this commitment. So Spirit is saying not to, all throughout this reading, is saying not to give up on this connection, really. There is so much good stuff here. Things aren't as bad as they seem. Feels like part of the message as well. But the 8 of Pentacles is about putting in consistent effort. Pentacles is ruled by the element of earth. So showing up, you know, with your heart open, seeing your part in it, trying to put in the inner work that you need to do, but also expecting that from your partner. Obviously this has to come from both ways, but really it's just about that day-to-day consistency of showing up and being invested, and the results will be positive. The results are, look at all these coins that are being produced by this woman here. These coins represent something of great quality, something of great value. That's what's been, you know, every time that you work through a conflict, and it's not going to waste, okay? That by working things out and working things through and investing your energy and effort in this is producing something beautiful, is producing a beautiful connection, a beautiful relationship. It's just about not giving up and showing up every day with a good mindset and putting in, like I say, the personal work, but the work in the connection as well. So how do you move forward? Let's see this final card, the beautiful Queen of Cups, which talks about emotional fulfillment. The Queen of Cups is someone who is able to feel things deeply, to take a deep dive emotionally. So this reflects the strength of the connection, yeah, how deep it actually goes. But what the skill of the Queen of Cups is that she can feel things deeply but ride the wave, so not be overwhelmed. She's not ruled by her emotions, so maybe looking at becoming not too reactionary as well to, like, again, these arguments, conflicts, harking back to that. Words being said in a kind of maybe tactless way, like the communication issues, like if someone says the wrong thing and then kind of flying off the handle and reacting intensely. The Queen of Cups is able to kind of look at her feelings and have that self-awareness and that emotional intelligence to be as measured as possible. And this isn't about repression. This isn't about oppressing your feelings. This is about being able to feel all those feelings, but not be ruled by them and not be overwhelmed. So this is the way through. So try not to spiral. Try not to allow the self-doubt to get the better of you and to be so shaken by every disagreement. That's what I'm seeing. You are maybe a very sensitive person. We see this peaceful, harmonious energy that is really your natural state maybe as well. And because you feel things deeply, so when there is disharmony, it can be really stressful for you. The Queen of Cups is able to keep that sensitivity and not obviously blunt that or numb that in any way. But she's just able to not be reactionary to it. And that's the way forward for you. That's the way to navigate the situation, okay? Is that in a nutshell, not being so reactionary to the disharmony. Allow yourself to feel the feelings, like I say, but not be ruled by your emotions. I'm just going to pull one more card for any final messages from Spirit, please. Any final messages from Spirit, please. The wonderful Knight of Wands, which is, I think it's a final caveat of just this, the intensity of this relationship, okay? Emotions may always really run high in this connection because the attraction is so strong. It's ultimately kind of quite a fiery connection. Wands, again, the element of fire, a passion, strong attraction. For both of you in this connection, the heart may always rule in this, that emotions will be strong, emotions will be felt deeply because the connection is so strong. So it's acknowledging that in really this is why what you're experiencing, kind of at the heart of it, is because of the intensity of this connection. So with the intensity of that connection will always come maybe a bit of drama. The stakes are high here, okay? You bring out the passion in each other. So naturally we see that maybe you're quite sensitive and like harmony. This connection really kind of shakes things up for you and has brought out a different side to you, maybe a more fiery, more passionate side to you. So it's part of the course with this relationship and this connection, and to understand that really and accept that about this dynamic, and to take on board the guidance that Spirit has to offer here. But it doesn't feel inherently negative if that's a worry or a fear of yours. It's just reflective of the level of intensity and the dynamic in this connection. The ups and the downs, and there'll always be a bit of drama, and you have power and choice in just how you react to that. And maybe over time as well you may become more used to it, but if this has been long-term connection, it still applies that this is the kind of solution to this, is not freaking out too much about the upheaval and drama that does go on. It's just part of this connection, one aspect of it, and reflective of the intensity from both sides. So I hope this reading resonated for you. If it did, please don't forget to like and leave a comment. That it's always great to get feedback from you, and subscribe if you haven't already, just so you're notified for all future readings and live tarot reading sessions. But wishing you all the best on your journey and in this connection. Love and light.